What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Jay,
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Dre
and we are locked in.
in.
Let's go. It's our first time doing this episode. This is a first podcast for us. We're just sitting here. We're chopping it up, but we wanted to get an introduction for everybody. We wanted to get an introduction for my boy Dre and myself, Jay. Um, we want you guys to get a feel for us. We want you to get a feel for what we're doing here, what's going on, how we're doing things. We don't want you to just be in here just listening or whatever. We want you guys to know that we are two people with similar interests, but we're also here to
Exactly.
have some good ass fun. I'm
Yes,
telling
sir.
you.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna get an introduction into both of us. It's not gonna be us just talking about this all the time about ourselves. However, though, what we are going to do is we are going to sit here and talk about WWE 2K24. Now, I
Yeah.
know whoever is listening right now, I know 2K has had the best time last year because 2K23 was actually pretty decent. There are some minor
Yes, it
things that we
was.
could sit here and talk about, but for the most part, it's been great. It's really been great. Like if you think about it, they're building themselves up. Like if you've seen 2K22, it's been really good. There was no issues. There was some minor. It was pretty bare bones. And then
Yeah.
23, man, like it hit hard. It hit different, like it said.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
it came with
saying?
that heat.
It came with the heat.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about 2K24. I've seen the trailer. Dre's seen the trailer. We've all seen the trailer. We just want to make sure that you know what, hi, we want to get the thoughts. We want to get those first thoughts before the game comes out.
Hmm.
Like I said though, first we want to sit here and give y'all an introduction on us. So
Yes.
without further ado, I'm gonna hand it over to my boy Dre, and he gonna give it to you. All right, lead the way, Dre.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, first and foremost, Jay, you forgot. Let's for the people that are familiar with the independent wrestling scene. We are no strangers to that. Some of you may know my boy Jay as Jay Thunder. Some of you may know me as Cameron Wayne. Yes, at one point we were adversaries in the independent pro wrestling world. But like Jay said, this is something different. So we're giving you guys, we're hitting you guys from all different directions. Wrestling, gaming, not only that, music, it's gonna be good positive vibes here, but nevertheless, a little bit about me. A wrestling fan, of course. I grew up watching it since I was knee high. Uh, Music lover, born in the '80s, grew up in the '90s. So yes, as the young kids say, I'm an old head now. I think me, me, you know. So
That's what they talk about. Yeah, like nowadays, with anybody being, born in the 80s and the 90s, now
yeah.
you're officially the old head.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. So all that timeless music that the kids don't know nothing about. The Tupac, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Jay Z, Nas. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I grew up. Yeah, grew up on all of that. I'm sure me and Jay both did. Um, for me, I'm a horror fan. I like the cheesy '80 horror movies, the Nightmare on Elm Streets, the Halloween, the Child's Play. And besides that, just I'm a father, just like Jay is. See, these are the personal things that you're gonna get to know about us. We're not just wrestling fans. We are. There's so many layers to the both of us, and we are excited to share this all with you guys. Jay.
all right, so as your boy Jay, I am a 90s baby, so we got Dre over here. He's the 80s. He's the 80s. He's like mid late 80s.
Yep.
I'm early 90s. So, not too much has changed, but everything is practically the same. Um Everybody knows me as Jay Thunder. I'm pretty much the guy who will knock your head off if I got some issues with you. But you know, in for the normal people, I'm Jay. I pretty much am a pretty laid back, cool guy, bro. I don't have too much any issues. I don't start issues with anybody. I'm pretty chill for the most part. Like Cameron said, my music taste is pretty much the same. I grew up in the 90s with people like, um, pretty much like I'd say your Tupacs, your Biggies, uh, Lords of the Underground, your Busta Rhymes, all of those people that I've listened to for the past, I don't know how long. Um, and again, I go into the little gaming part because can't my man's over here didn't say nothing about the games, but my one of my favorite games of all time is Super Mario World. I had the chance this past year to actually complete it as an adult because I was never able to complete it as a kid just because of the fact that it was so hard. And the only reason why I say it was so hard was because of the Forest of Illusion. If you know, you know. All right. So my wrestling background when it comes down to it, I love wrestling. I've been loving it ever since I started. I saw it on the TV in literally like I'd say in 98, 99. I was able to watch the first SmackDown on Pilot. So I know what it is. I was watching Raw before SmackDown, so that's the thing too. Um, but my that those were my areas where I was in, like Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression, even the PG era, and where we at now. Um, it's been pretty cool to sit here and you know talk to other people about the differences of our timelines. It's really cool. Um, and other than that, man, I'm just more so excited to actually do this. What I want to do first though, I want to get Dre's opinion because since we're doing this introduction, I need him to give me we're gonna do a top five right now. We're gonna do a top five. Um we're gonna do it in each category. What I'll say is I won't do for music, I won't do top five best rappers alive because we gonna have a whole conversation for that. That'll be somewhere down the line. But what I want you the first thing I want to ask you is what is your top five favorite albums of all time?
Top five favorite albums. Okay, well, let's hold that thought for 1 second
Uh-oh.
because with this, like again, like you said, this being an introduction. Let's give the fans a quick background on how this whole locked out scenario came about, and it was just as simple as a post. I
Yeah.
put it out there, I'm interested in doing the show, and one of the first people to respond was my guy Jay. And the reason why I wanted to push forward with this because again, I think I tend to be a good judge of character,
Mhm.
and I would only want to do this with somebody who I know that okay, they have the same one interest as me. Two, they're serious about this. Again, have fun and serious. Something me and Jay were speaking about earlier, but and
Yeah, that's the thing about doing a podcast for the most part. Like you got to
yeah,
sit here and you have to be serious about really doing it. Like no
yeah,
one realizes that you have to be 100% locked in. That is the name of the podcast. You're locked in with us. You're locked in just like we're locked into this. So
yeah.
we need y'all to be locked in. We gonna be locked in. We all gonna be locked in, and we gonna get business done. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's like again, like I said, we are here to have fun, here to bring the good positive vibes, but on the same note too, we want to be successful in this. We want to get the followers. We want people to know about this. We're doing this. We're not just doing this to do it. We're doing this for our enjoyment because this is something that we want to do. We're talking about things we're passionate about, and also we're doing this to be successful. So serious and fun, all in the same note. Now back to those top five albums.
Here we go.
Yeah, I just had to get that out the way. But top five that will forever be classics to me that I will forever listen to.
Hmm.
And I'll say this. I think maybe I am really an old head because I really don't listen to the radio like that. All
Hmm.
I do is listen to classic music.
Uh,
What I consider classic. Because if I turned on the radio today, I probably wouldn't know what half the songs are. You
True.
know. But I would say my first one would be Snoop Doggy Dogg's Doggy Style.
Doggy style. Good Lord.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah, that would be, and I'm going one to five. So one being the top,
The top.
Yeah. Next would be Dr. Dre, The Chronic. You know,
Oh.
yeah. I gotta go with The Chronic. And just a quick backstory on those two. As a kid, I grew up in the Midwest, but I grew up listening to West Coast music. I grew up in that era where it was Death Row versus Bad
Versus
Boy, and
Bad
I
Boy.
was
Yeah.
and I was so enamored with Snoop to the point where I grew my hair out like Snoop. I had the ponytails and wearing flannel, trying to talk like someone's like, yeah, cuz doing all that. So I thought I was from the West Coast. And then Pop came on there, so some bad boy killer. Like I thought I was signed to Death Row. So yeah, I was a Death Row baby. Anything Death Row I had at Dog Pound, all of that. So those two are in my top two. I would say number three, I'm gonna bring it over to the East Coast, would be Biggie's Ready to Die.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I didn't get into East Coast rap like that until I was in, let's say, my early teens. I
Okay.
didn't. I was
Okay.
like, yeah.
Okay.
Number four, Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt.
Ooh. That's
Yeah.
that's different. That's different.
Yeah. Yeah. And the fifth one would be 50's Get Rich or Die Trying.
Ooh. So that's a good lineup. So for me, however, we're
Hmm.
gonna flip it
Hmm.
because Get Rich or Die Trying is my number one album.
I'm not mad
That
at
is
that. I'm not
that Get
mad at
Rich or
that at
Die
all.
Trying is my number one album. Uh I grew that was actually the first disc that I ever owned. It was the first
Okay.
one. First disc I've ever owned. The second one, that's going in at number two is probably gonna be, and I'm only gonna put this together because of the fact that I've listened to both of these albums together, and I've never really like listened to them like separately.
Hmm.
It's one of the ones that you've already said. It's Ready to Die by Notorious B.I.G. But
Mm,
also I love Life After Death. Both of
okay.
those albums go well together. They mesh, they're beautiful together.
Yeah.
Um, if I had to choose like a third one, I'd probably say Black Album by Jay-Z. That
Okay.
is another album. It is the second album that I've ever owned.
Okay.
Ever. It is the second album
Okay.
I've ever owned. That's my number three. Uh if I had to choose my number four, um it's hard because when it comes
Mm,
down to the lower part, like
hmm.
I'm always good when it come down to the top three. But when it come
Yeah.
down to the four and the five, that's where we have the issue. And
Yeah.
if I had to choose my number four,
Mm,
um, I'd probably say, um, we're gonna go and get a little bit higher in the a little bit later in the years. If I had to choose one of my favorite albums, it probably would be Graduation by Kanye West. That's
Okay.
a
Okay.
that is another those are albums that I have like I've grew up with him. So like say for instance, you know what
Hmm.
timeline you were in when you listen to those albums.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like you have that as a timeline. Like I'll sit here and I'll listen to 50 all the time, and
Yeah.
I still listen to him to this day.
Yeah.
And um me personally, I still think that I'm in 2003 with my do-rag on and my cap
Man,
on.
same here,
And
man. Same here.
and you know I'm wearing the baggy clothes and
Oh
like
yeah.
it's funny because I sit here and it was one day I said that I didn't have any more jeans. All my
Hmm.
jeans are like super baggy.
Hmm.
My girlfriend wound up buying me another set of jeans, but they're
Hmm.
not baggy. They're you know they're fit now. So
Yeah,
now I
the
have
jeggings,
to.
the skinny jeans.
Well, no, they're not jeggings, but they're the regular. They're like the normal jeans. They got
Yeah,
like
yeah,
some. They're kind of like faded or whatever, but
yeah,
they're not. They're rigid and they're not they're not big.
yeah,
They're normal size, so like you can walk in them, and they feel a little bit weird to me sometimes because I'm so used to wearing the
yeah.
baggy
I got you.
jeans.
I got you, man.
But my last one, and I'd probably and people are gonna think I'm weird for this, but the last one that I have as a top five album is Paul Wall, People's Champ. Now, now let me tell you this. All throughout all of grade school,
Hmm.
I found out what Southern hip hop was.
Yeah.
So people like Wayne, T.I.,
Hmm.
Paul Wall, Mike Jones, UGK, um, it just it resonated so good because I don't know I enjoyed even Ludacris.
Yeah.
He's down there too.
Yeah.
Um,
Luda's up there. Yeah.
and I enjoyed every little bit. Honorable mention,
Hmm.
Word of Mouth by Ludacris,
Yeah.
and King by T.I. Those are
Yeah.
those are those are honorable mentions.
Yeah.
But yeah, like those are my my tops. So
Okay. That's a pretty decent list, man.
I mean, yeah, like my thing about it is we were sitting here talking about before we sat here and started recording
Hmm.
that, you know, the similarities. Like if you
Hmm.
notice, half of my top five was in your top five.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
Just because it's weird. Like you think that someone that in the ring you're like adversary you're like your opponent or like your the rivalry and
hmm
just to get to talk to them, you know, throughout like a whole 2 years, you
hmm
know, you sit here and you're like, damn, you know what, he ain't that bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I can say this too, man. Anytime we were in CTW locker room, anytime we spoke, you had always treated me, and the thing is, though, the crazy part is, though, in CTW, I wasn't an active competitor. I was part of the company,
Mhm.
but you treated me as if I was,
One of the
one of the
boys,
boys,
one of the
one of the boys,
boys.
so to speak. Yeah, and you always showed me nothing but kindness and respect. So, and me, like I said, I tend to be a good judge of character, and I go off of that. Like if I felt a crazy vibe coming from you, yeah, I would have stayed steer clear of you. Like, nah, he ain't, but anytime it's like, hey, what's up, Jay? What up? You know what I'm saying? We chop it up, whatever. So this when we started this, decided to do this just came naturally, because of course we've talked even more since then. So, you know, doing
Yeah.
something like this, you just always want to know that okay, my co-host, my partner is, we are locked as a title, locked in on the same page.
Exactly.
So
We locked
yeah,
in.
yep,
And then
exactly.
just to kind of like a little bit of a thing. Um, Originally, I did want to start like my own YouTube channel or whatever, just because of the fact that like I had so much stuff to say. Like
Yeah,
there were
yeah.
so many things that I had wanted to talk about when it came down to music, when it came down to wrestling, when it came down to video games. Like, dude, like I can honestly say when it comes down to video games, like I don't get to talk about it often, but when I do, it's
Hmm.
fun. When it come down
Yeah,
to wrestling, like it's fun. Like I'll sit here and
yeah,
I can talk about video games for days. Like
exactly.
hell, sometimes I sit here and I think to myself, I was like, I'm surprised my girlfriend ain't left me yet, just because of how much I sit here and I talk about video games all the fucking time or wrestling. Or like I feel like I'm such a dork.
Well, you know what though? That's funny you said it about your girl because I slowly got my girl into professional wrestling. Because when me and her first started dating, she was like, "Why are you always watching this? Why are you always watching this?" But as we later in the years and then starting to work with CTW, she got more into it. And believe it or not, her favorite is the person who I'm wearing on my shirt, Roman. So
Hey,
anytime Roman,
hey, look. I don't want to toot my own horn or nothing like I don't want to toot his own horn or nothing like that. But the man is doing his thing. Like
oh yeah, he is.
I'm not gonna lie. The turnaround has been beautiful. I'm happy for
Yeah,
that man. I'm happy he's doing good. Um, that man is he like he's done so much good work. No one will ever like I'm pretty sure people will sit here and say this, but when I tell you that I've seen Roman from suffering succotash all the way to here, like
yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's like I said, these are things that we got to save for later episodes, so we won't
yeah.
get too much into them.
Exactly. See,
But
that's the yeah, that see, and
yeah,
this is what I was talking about before we started recording. I
yeah,
was like, we got so much
exactly.
stuff to so much stuff to talk about. But yeah, like I get it. I understand. Like it's cool because like as being a wrestler,
Yeah,
my girlfriend's starting to get into it, and that's cool.
yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
she tells me like she's like when back then, back then we was young and shit like that.
Hmm.
Um that she used to watch wrestling. I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah,
But now that I'm like in like I'm a wrestler, like
yeah,
it's a little bit different. It like
yeah.
it hit a little bit different, and it's cool to see like I'll tell you this right now. One of the best feelings in the world is
Hmm.
seeing in the crowd your girlfriend, more well, my
Hmm.
girlfriend,
Yeah.
is seeing my girlfriend and my two daughters sitting there cheering me on while I'm coming out to a match.
That I mean,
That is like the cutest thing in the world.
and that's crazy you said that because I share the same sentiment.
Oh my
It's just
god.
it was a blessing. But the thing is, though, I was a heel. So my little one was born me. She was loving Marche. She was loving Cody. I asked her, "When you gonna cheer for me?" She didn't want to
It's like
cheer for me.
boo,
Yeah, she didn't want.
boo.
She would cheer you. She would cheer people like you, but she hated me and that. She hated me. She didn't want to cheer for us. But yeah, that was a blessing in itself, and one of the biggest blessings for me, of course, was last summer. Of course, we had the big show, Destiny,
Hmm.
having my better half walk me out to the ring. So you
Oh,
can't ask for
dude,
nothing more. Yeah, you can't ask for
dude.
nothing more. And I had to go, and that was my idea. I was like, look, this is Destiny. I got to do it big. So that's what, and for her to escort me out to the ring, and I'm sure that was something she had never done. Something like that. So that right there was a moment I'll never forget.
So you know what? Since we'll talk about because I know we're probably
Yeah,
getting to our time,
yeah, yeah.
but the thing that I want to know is that initial feeling when you
Hmm.
left when you went
Hmm.
back behind the curtain,
Hmm.
how did that feel?
How did it feel? First match, man. I I blew
When
myself
you
up, man.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, how did it feel? First, matter of fact, first match, and then the initial feeling when you and your girl were walking down together.
Well,
Like
it was
I want to know that.
well, the thing is though, I had gotten used to coming out there, because with high society, but to
Hmm.
come out there by myself in my match, and the funny part about that is, of course, when in doing stuff like that, anything can go wrong.
Of
So I
course.
had this, and this is I'm gonna make this quick, but my theme, which was the instrumental to "What's Beef" with Biggie,
Hmm.
and I had the a clip from the Scarface movie playing right before the song. I was like, I want this for particularly. I told Jed specifically for Destiny. I want the Scarface clip to play, and then here comes the song.
Hmm.
And I don't know if you remember, but the speakers, something was wrong with the speakers that day, and they
Hmm.
were they were like real low or something. And I'm like getting myself psyched up, and I'm listening to hear Scarface playing, and I just hear the instrumental start. I'm like, what the fuck? So I was like, I'm thinking like, okay, this hearing that Scarface get this gonna get me into character even more. Cause I'm gonna come out there like I'm the shit. I got this beautiful woman on
Hmm.
the side of me. But then when I didn't hear the Scarface, because I was looking forward to hearing that. If it like I'm sure it's like it was a certain spot or point in anything you're doing pertaining to wrestling, when you don't get a chance to do it or it gets fucked up, you're like, but you got to keep going you know. So, and once I didn't hear that Scarface, I'm like, what the fuck, But me and her, we walked out there, got in there, and then I started feeling it even more. And then what? And one of the coaches for my match was Rion, and of course he was a ref.
Of course.
So what me and Steve had did leading up to that, it all made sense as I was doing it. But what the one thing I felt to do was take deep breaths because as we're going through it and me seeing what you guys go through, I was like, okay, I'm thinking I gotta breathe,
Yes.
because I was like, I was trying to, and then we had the thing where I was supposed to low blow Steve, but I did it, and Rion was looking at me. And of course, we had to think on the fly right there to justify me low blowing, and then Rion was like, hit him in the mouth. And I was like, hit me in the mouth. And that's the whole scenario right there. And then Jed came and I was trying to talk to Jed. And that's when you see that crazy photo of me pointing to
Hmm.
myself. I was out of breath. It was just so much going on, man. But I had a blast. And my thing is Steve, if you're watching this, I want to run it back, man. We got to run it back. So we got to run it back, man.
Hey,
I,
Steve.
I,
Steve, you
I
heard him. You heard him. He said he want to run it back, bro.
part
Run
two.
it
I
back.
don't care where we do it at. IPW, I don't know. Tell Rion to set it up. We got to run it back.
Hey, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it.
But yeah, man. Like it's for as far as the introduction, you guys are going to get to know more about us. The more episodes we do. But one of the main things that that both of us are looking forward to, that we both pre-ordered. I got the 40 years WrestleMania edition. Um, and we have both been playing WWE games for what? As long, I know for me, it's been since Warzone, WWF Warzone.
So yeah, so backstory. I'm going to assume that you are one of the lucky ones that had a PlayStation. I'm
Yes.
going to assume
Yeah.
because you said Warzone. You didn't
Oh
say
yeah.
anything else. You said Warzone.
Yeah.
So me, on the other hand, I had a Nintendo 64. So we weren't talking about Warzone. However, Warzone was on the Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I didn't the game that I got that first introduced me into wrestling games was WCW NWO Revenge, and I played that
I love that.
like it would nothing. And
I love
then
that.
it's weird because when I got WCW NWO Revenge, then I heard about WrestleMania 2000.
Mm.
As a matter of fact, no, I'm sorry. The first game that I played wrestling wise
Mhm.
was WWF WrestleMania the arcade game. So
Okay.
that was for
Okay.
the Super Nintendo. So
Okay.
at that time that wasn't Attitude Era, that was New Generation.
Yeah. Yeah.
The second one that I played was the WCW NWO World Tour.
And see, and now another thing too. I don't know. Well, of course, people that are fans of wrestling video games probably know this, but for people that aren't fans of wrestling video games, the games that come out now, I would say the most successful one is the 2K series, but a lot of wrestling games that come out now, they call them wrestling simulators because they simulate what we watch on TV, as
Yes.
opposed to the games that came out back then on the Super Nintendo. That was more so the Mortal Kombat
Arcadey.
style.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
more
Mortal Kombat
arcadey.
style. The wrestlers were throwing fireballs and shit like that. So
Yeah, and then we came into the 3D era, and that's when the wrestling simulator crap came to play, where
yeah,
your war zones, your WWF attitudes, your WCW NWO Revenge, your WrestleMania 2000s, and the GOAT No Mercy,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
and also one of the greatest GOATs of all time, the SmackDown series, which
Oh yeah.
led into the 2K series. So
Yeah, and it just evolved and got better from games like Warzone and Attitude, where you would just have match after match to again, these games are now like carbon copies of watching like an
hold
episode
on,
of
let me
Raw.
pause you. Let me pause you right quick.
Yeah.
I tried so hard to kind of like, keep a straight face when we're talking about Attitude and Warzone. I'm gonna let you know this right now, my guy. Um, you may have loved those games,
Yeah.
but I promise you, when I played them,
Hmm.
I knew something was up because I played them
Hmm.
after playing all the games on the Nintendo 64. So
Hmm.
you be playing trying to play WWF Attitude after you just played WCW NWO Revenge.
Hmm.
Um, that's a big problem. That's a big problem for me. But I mean, to each his own. To each its own. I understand. You do you. I'm gonna do me, but I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish.
Well,
You keep going.
Well, I was well, just speaking in general, if you look at the evolution of these games, man, from because a lot of the stuff that's normal for us to do in wrestling games now,
Mhm.
um, the GM modes, the universe mode, the creator wrestler, it's just evolved since Warzone, Attitude, No Mercy, WrestleMania, Revenge, to the point where, like you said, you can go into detail and make whomever you want from whatever promotion, independent promotion, and put it up there. And, people are doing online feds. So these games have gotten that detailed.
Yes.
So
Yes.
where some of them you can import your own music and all this other stuff they're doing. They're modding the characters that are already on there. So it's just so much you can do. And like you said, you had brought up 23 earlier. That, like, for me, I'm an avid universe fan. I will say that. I could spend all day in that. I'm not. I don't do online like that, but for me it's universe all day.
See,
Setting up the universe.
and that's what I like. That's one of the
Yeah.
things that I say here, and I tell people all the time, um, like every year I try this every single year, and I seem to fail at it all the time. I'm I'm what you called an old school gamer. All right.
Hmm.
What usually happens is that I lean towards more of people coming over to play games instead of playing online.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm always down for creating a universe and having people come over and we literally play it like it's a season. Like
Yeah.
I would love to do that more
Hmm.
just because of the fact that like it would make it feel like I'm creating my own fed. You get
Oh
me?
yeah.
So
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And and like you said, with the new one coming now, 24, what in under what like 9 days,
Mm-hmm.
um, they really didn't change much, which is good. You know, again, it's the old saying, if it ain't broke,
If it
don't
ain't
fix
broke,
it.
don't fix it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did very good with 23. And if anything, they're adding to that, tweaking it, and I think it's going to do well. I think it's going to do very well. You know, of course there are other wrestling game simulators out there. Fight Forever, but we're not going to talk about that one,
I
you
mean, we
know.
can save that for another episode
Yeah.
because let's be real. Yeah, let's just save that for another episode. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
do
It's just,
that.
but yeah, the focus is on, like I said, this is gonna we're uh giving you this tidbit of it now because episode two is gonna be 2K24. You know, just the what we are going to be excited to do in it, you know, what we're looking forward to, you know, the things that they've already said, the that you can do, the 200 plus superstars, the showcase mode, new match types, ambulance, casket, you know, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be I already can see myself, Steph's kiss, you guys did your thing again, you know. And I'm looking forward to it.
I would like to think that I'm hoping that they enhance GM mode, because we were happy that they brought back GM mode in 22, but it was very
Hmm.
bare bones. Then we got
Yeah.
23 and it enhanced and it was better. So I'm hoping that at 24, it's a like you said, a chef's kiss. I'm
Hmm.
hoping that they do the best that they can with that. I'm looking forward to the ambulance match. Oh, keep in mind, I don't know if you mentioned it or not, but they enhanced the backstage brawl.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they enhanced that. So that's the thing now. So it's instead of you having two players, now you can play with four players.
Hmm.
So that's pretty cool. Um I like the fact that I mean it still looks the same. But like you
Yeah.
said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I don't know. The excitement for this game is a little bit different from last year, if you get me. Like the
Yeah.
excitement is a little bit different. It's kind of like so when you got because you got 2K22, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so like when you got 2K22, what was your mindset?
Well, that because you know, well, they're coming from taking a year off, um, with 20 not doing so well, you know. So coming back with 22, and then of course, I'm sure like yourself, you're before it even drops, you're reading all the previews, getting caught up on everything, and saying, okay, they got something here now. When it actually drops, let's see what it's actually like, and then you play and you say, okay, it's not crashing like that. You know, I can go to download a wrestler, and the wrestler's actually there. The images are there. These are all the things that were wrong in 2K20.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the like a lot of the main things that were causing these issues in 2K20 seem to be fixed in 22. Don't get me wrong, 22 had its flaws here and there, but it was nowhere near like 2K20.
Yeah.
So, you know, to hear about it and then actually get it and see that, okay, this is better, I was happy. I was very happy.
I feel like they actually sat here and decided, like, oh, hey, you know what? Let's take a year off to figure this shit out because you
Yeah.
just left us to go and make a game for AEW. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. What are we talking about? That was well, no, yeah, they did leave. They
Yep.
left. They
Hmm.
left after 2K19. So
Yep.
Ukes leaves and and they have to sit here and they have to pretty much do everything from scratch.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I still enjoy 2K22. I enjoyed the My Rise mode. I enjoyed that too. I enjoyed a
Yeah.
lot of that.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, granted, like I said, the GM mode was bare bones. It
Hmm.
was very bare bones.
Yeah.
But it was nice enough to sit here and be like, oh, hey, this is something that they can work on. I
Yeah.
mean,
And they're bringing something back, so of course, it's not. I don't think it's gonna have all the trimmings that everybody was looking for because they're just reintroducing this again. You
yeah.
know.
I mean, what'd you expect? Like they messed up, so now they gotta, start from the drawing board. And I think that they're doing a really good job. 2K24 looks freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Um, some of
And
the
and
some
w-
of the models look good too.
well, yeah, and this is another thing too that I like that they did in 23
Mhm.
when they were doing constant updates and on the game where they was fixing anything, they would
Mhm.
update superstars. They will update superstars to their current look or current theme music. I was like, okay, and it's almost kind of similar to what UFC does in their games,
Yeah.
where they either update a
Because I
fighter
know, because
or
what was it? I think it was UFC 3.
hmm
They updated Conor McGregor because
yeah,
he wound up doing something different with his hair. He had like a little braid or whatever, and
yeah,
um he did that. And
yeah,
I know there's certain things that like I wish they could do better,
yeah,
because sometimes 2K has an issue with the um what's the word I'm looking for? The updates. Just
yeah,
updates in general. Because like, say for instance, like we'll sit here and Dominic Mysterio
hmm
is in the outfit that he had like 2 years ago.
yeah,
Last year they didn't have for 2K23, they didn't have Judgment Day Dom.
yeah. And but you know what too, and to piggyback off of that, besides 2K doing their actual updates, I gotta say this shout out to the modders, and I know that's not the companies like that don't like that, but one of the ones that I follow, I think I was telling you this, what's the status?
Mm-hmm.
I'll follow him and because he was the one that was constantly updating superstars on the community creations, giving them their updated attire, and it's just amazing. Like, and I know to do something like that, well, to people that actually do it, it's probably easy, but to somebody that doesn't normally know how to do that, it's like, wow, you guys are awesome, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And you didn't have to have it like as a separate creator wrestler. You can put it under that actual wrestler's attire, and use it as for that wrestler.
Yes.
Um,
I think it's like literally it kind of sucks though. So like when you're
yeah,
sitting here and you're creating a person, you can only have two outfits. I
yeah,
feel like that should be a thing for like each and every wrestler. You should be able to have multiple attires. Like you come like I've seen so many of Rey Mysterio's attires, and
mm,
I only ever see like one.
mm,
Like,
mm,
or like, say for instance, what was it? Rhea Ripley, same thing.
yeah,
Bianca Belair, same thing. Um, Becky Lynch, same thing. Kevin Owens, same thing. Um, Jimmy and Jay, same thing. Like,
yeah,
I would love for them to like actually be able to have like multiple slots for everybody to have excuse me, sorry, I should not be doing that.
no,
They should have multiple attire slots for each and every wrestler. Like, I'm pretty
mhm,
sure we're working with next gen here.
yeah,
There is no way in hell that you should not be able to do that. Like, I would like to, as a creative player, uh, created superstar, I would love to sit here and only have. Why do I have to have just two attires?
Yeah.
Like I should be able to have multiple attires. That should be. That's just what that should be.
Well, and that's the thing with the modders though. They do it because I think is I'll use Butch for example, Pete Dunne. You know,
Hold
and of
on.
course,
Shout out to WWE, by the way,
uh-huh,
for actually making sure that Pete Dunne gets what he needed. I have been
yeah,
waiting. I have been waiting forever for Pete
hmm
Dunne to come back because this Butch shit was just it was enough. Don't get me wrong. The Brawling Brutes were actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
It was a thing that was like, okay, all right. But the reason why I say this is because I watched Pete Dunne in NXT. That was my
yeah,
boy.
yeah,
So like he needed to be Pete Dunne. He didn't need to be Butch.
yeah,
So
yeah.
but please continue. I'm sorry that I interrupted you.
Oh no, no, you're fine, man. But I was saying, just using like his character model, for example.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the game he's listed as Butch, but these modders would make this model of him, and it would be Pete Dunne, and you would download it, but it would be under the character model, and you would select that as his current attire, and the ring announcer would say, "Now to come into the ring, Pete Dunne." It's like, how the hell do they do that? You know, um, and that's what I would like to see in future games where, because wrestling, especially WWE, is constantly changing and evolving. These wrestlers, they change gimmicks, change names, just as well as outfits.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to go in and oh, he's not Butch anymore, so let me play Pete Dunne. To be able to do that, so I think the Madden games you could do that, change the players' names and do all this stuff. You used to be able to. I don't know if you can still do it now because I haven't played Madden in a while, but you used to be able to
I
do
don't
that.
play Madden. I don't play Madden for the creative characters. I just play it for the franchise mode. That's all I do. Like I'm not let me and fun fact for all you people that are listening. I don't watch football like that. That's not my sport. Basketball is my sport. I'll watch it. I'll watch it all day every day. I only play Madden because I have friends that love Madden. So I couldn't tell you a stitch. Go Chiefs, I guess. Whatever. Because they won the Super Bowl. But yeah, like I don't play Madden like that. I only play it just for the fun. Like I don't have a serious soul in my body when it comes down to Madden. Now if we talking 2K though, we talking WWE or NBA, that's a different story.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's a different
yeah.
story. I'm about that life. So
And I could say at some point we're gonna have to, after 24 drops, we're gonna have to do a live streaming episode with us playing it, showing off our, because I'm sure you and I both are gonna agree ourselves in that game.
oh hell yeah.
I'm
Absolutely.
sure we are. I'm sure we are.
It's that I think that is the main thing that I spend my time on when I first get the game. Like I'll
Oh
literally
yeah,
sit here and I will spend. I try to make my character as accurate as possible. Now I
same as
wish
here.
that they
Yep.
would do a better job when it comes down to their face, their face capture. But
I like the
other than
2K
that,
vibe, how they do theirs through the app. I like if
yeah,
they did it like that, it would be much easier than doing taking a
absolutely.
picture of your face and
Hmm.
all that stuff. That's one thing I would love to see change
Yeah,
going
I feel
in
like it
future
would be.
games.
I like, and it's not like they can't do it because who runs 2K? 2K.
Yeah, exactly.
Who runs NBA 2K? 2K. Who runs WWE
Exactly.
2K? 2K. Why can't you
Yeah,
just use the same technology that y'all are using for NBA 2K and use it on WWE? Because this shit is whack. I'm just saying.
yeah, man.
Like,
Trying to do it is. It's a lot of work trying to map out your face and then cut the out. But
hmm
man,
yeah.
it's work. It's work, work, work.
Like you don't
But
realize how I've sat here. I've taken so many pictures. I've taken so
yeah,
many pictures trying to do this shit, and then next, I just say, you know what? I just use the default one. Just call it a day, bro. Like I ain't got time for this. Like I'll just sit here and just do that. Like
well,
it
bro.
was.
You know what though? When 24 drops, say less. I got you. I think I kind of got the formula down to a T. Cause like I said, I got the I kid you not, I Googled the dimensions and like how big your face should be and all that. I got you, bro.
Bro,
So
I'm a matter of fact, I like one of these days I'm gonna have to sit here. I'm gonna have to come over and you gonna have to show me how to do that shit because
yeah,
like I said, I've been trying to do that since 19. So
yeah, yeah.
and I have not had any luck whatsoever. I gave up and said, fuck it, I'm good. I'm just gonna use the default face because I got NBA 2K that I can do it. And like I said, I wish that they would use that technology there instead of
Oh
using
yeah,
that dumbass technology um that they use it now. But I
yeah.
mean, for the most part, like the game is gonna be good. I feel like the game's gonna be good.
Oh yeah. And for those who haven't been keeping up to date with it or haven't seen the trailer, um, we got it here for you. So let's cut to that, and we'll be right
Cody
back.
Rhodes suffered a nightmare tonight.
I think this is how my story ends.
Roman Reigns has done it again.
This is the story of legacy.
Look at the power of Belair!
I got the EST story.
And it might be! Ladies and women!
I'll rip the pages out of your story.
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object. My story started at the very beginning, brother.
My story's full of ass whooping. Austin doing what he does best.
I'll end your story.
This story's not finished.
All right, here we go. Yes, and that was the 2K trailer. You know, when I first seen that, and don't get me wrong, I loved it. A lot of people were tripping on the AI faces for Hulk and Stone Cold, but I was like, yeah, I like the trailer. You know, it got me hyped up for the game. Not only that, we are upon WrestleMania season, so any wrestling WWE fans are always excited because you know we're on the road to WrestleMania. And then the game is setting the tone for that with the 40 years of WrestleMania. So I love the trailer and I cannot wait to see more. And we only got what 9 days to go.
And good lord, like it feels like it just keeps coming and coming and coming. Like it
Yeah,
just feels like it's not like it's tomorrow. Um,
yeah.
I will say that you know what, as much as 40 years of WrestleMania it sounds
Mhm.
great. I'm not so excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm not really all that excited. I mean, for those of you who don't know, there's a serious thing going on. So half of the people on there who have been on WrestleManias for 40 years,
Yeah.
uh 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna be on the game. Um and one of those people is Bork Laser, Brock Lesnar, who has been a staple for like a couple of good WrestleMania matches, whether that be WrestleMania 20, or and so forth, especially the ones that he's done with matter of fact, WrestleMania 19, WrestleMania 20,
Hmm.
and the one and whichever ones he did with Roman. I'm not gonna be able to remember it. Please, sorry, thank
Yeah.
you. So, and then we all know about we all know about WrestleMania 20's main event. So we're
Yeah.
not gonna talk
Yeah.
about that either.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys understand that like there's certain matches that we want to see, but we can't see because of the drama. So
Well, you know what? You know, for them to go this route, honestly, with the 40 years of WrestleMania, I before they even announced 2K or we got to actually see it, I was expecting them to do something with rest in peace. but Bray Wyatt. I was thinking they were going to do a showcase mode with Bray Wyatt because of him passing. So I was like, oh, okay. I was shocked to see, okay, they're doing WrestleMania. You know, so that
Here's
I
the
don't want to say.
downside to that, though.
Mhm.
The problem is that there are not enough matches
Or
for
moments
Bray
per se.
or
Yeah,
moments for Bray. That's the
yeah, yeah,
problem.
yeah.
There's not enough. So, to be quite honest with you, I'm very happy because I don't know if you saw in the trailer.
Hmm.
He was going. They're doing. If I'm not mistaken, they're doing the match with him and Cena.
Yeah, yeah. It's the
The
firehouse match. Yeah,
the Firefly Funhouse match. I'm looking
yeah,
forward to that because I've been at I think that was the main thing that excited me was
yeah,
that match because I was like,
yeah,
oh shit, what? Oh shit! And next thing you know, I'm gonna be looking for that Boneyard match. That's what I'm gonna be looking for.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I'm gonna be looking for.
And I'm sure they're gonna have some type of tribute to Bray in the game.
I
You
would hope
know,
so.
yeah, but almost kind of like how they did for Owen with the Attitude game. Right after he passed, and he said Owen's picture and then Owen the year he was born and the year he passed.
Hmm.
So I'm looking for that. I'm sure they're gonna have something pertaining to Bray, or rest in peace Bray, or something in there, about Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
So
it's a sad thing when wrestlers get taken from us like way too quickly, especially Bray Wyatt. Like there was one of those things where you know you were hoping because everybody was sitting there hoping it's like, oh man, he's gonna come back.
mm,
And I think maybe we sit here and a couple of days later he's gone. And
yeah,
it's sad. It you can't imagine how that would feel like.
yeah,
But I
yeah,
mean just in general, just a shout out to Bray's family, all
yeah,
of that, man. Like it sucks because I know for us, we lost a couple years ago when we first started at Crash Tested. We lost a good wrestler in us in Austin
mm,
Fury,
oh
and
yeah,
and it was a shitty situation,
oh
like
yeah,
you definitely don't want to be taken down in your prime.
oh yeah, definitely,
Like
man.
it
Yeah,
sucks. But you know, some people hurt. Some people can't control it. Some people just,
yeah, and
but
and
yeah,
and just to these are things that, again, just to sorry, we kind of went off topic there, but just these are things that you can look forward to,
yeah,
the different types of conversations, the topics we will touch upon on this locked out podcast, the locked in podcast, I should say. I'm sorry, because it's just we just showed you with that. It's just so many different things that like, again, we are passionate about, that we are interested in, that we will discuss and touch upon. But as far as 2K is concerned, like I said, that's where the bread and butter is going to be at on the next episode. We are very close to the launch date. Like I said, we both got the game. So
yeah. I
you're going.
unfortunately, I didn't order the deluxe edition because I'm not cool like Dre. Like I did. Like, look, I wasn't about to say. Look, he decides he wants to do it digitally. I'm not the person that's gonna do it. I want a physical copy of the game, especially because of the fact that the deluxe edition has both Bianca and Rhea on it. Like
Dude.
here's the thing. I've gotten when it comes down to a deluxe edition of a game, if your collector's edition it is not giving me a good physical copy, then I'm not gonna want it.
Mhm.
Like last year. I wish that I had it on me right now because I show you how good that cover looks with Cena on the cover. Like it's a good looking cover, And if I have
Oh
my
yeah,
copy,
yeah.
if I have my copy of 2K22, but I traded it in so I get 23. If I had my copy of 22 and the one with Ray on it, I love the deluxe edition cover because his mask is fucking amazing. So either way, the everything on that is just fucking beautiful. This year we celebrating the women, Rhea and uh Rhea and
Bianca.
Bianca are on the cover. I mean, don't
Yeah,
get me wrong. I would have loved to just, got the standard edition and saw Cody because I want him to finish his story. Like he's been doing his thing. But WWE did it big when they decided they wanted to put Bianca and Rhea on the cover. And I'm like, I'm for it. Let's go.
yeah, and that's and see to go back with the Jay said he's getting a physical copy. See, that's the thing. See, I'm the downloader. Like I said, he has to have the disc. I mean, we talked about that we're on the way going to ARW show. For me, my whole gaming library is in my PS5 and in my Xbox. I have probably I think like 2 discs.
Yeah, and see that's the matter of fact. If I were to show you right now, like I'm a hold on, I'm gonna get up right now just so I can show y'all. This is my stack of games right here, and there's more of them. Ha, Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat, Dead or Alive. Like I got like stuff here. Like I'd rather be a collector and actually have the disc than to sit here and try to download everything because you know what? Some shit go down, you're not gonna be able to play that game no more. I'm gonna still be able to play this game.
But see, and that's the thing though. The plus side to that is, see, even if I came over there and gamed with you, I don't have to do is load in my profile. Now, I would have to wait for my game to load, but
I mean, like I said, I still download a digital stuff. I just download digital stuff when they're on sale. So
yeah,
like when I sit here and I see a game that's like, under $10, under $20, yeah, I do it. I buy it digitally because that way I ain't gotta spend that much money and I got it for the cheap instead of buying it for full price at GameStop. So
yeah, yeah,
but I mean, for the most part, like I like the aesthetic of playing like an old gamer, like
yeah,
being able. I'm a person that likes to sit on the couch and actually play. Um, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love online stuff. It's cool, but being able to sit next to a person and play with them, like that's one of the main reasons why I love playing shit like fighting games because
yeah.
like it's okay to play them online, but it's so much better to play them when they're right next to you. So be like, oh, you can talk your shit. Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you thought you was gonna get me with that, huh? Oh no, 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 no. I've been playing this game for the longest. You thought you was gonna beat me, bro? Or like how people be on NBA 2K. They'd be like, bruh, Curry be cheating, bro. I'm like, bro, you should have known I was gonna beat you. I got Curry. What you saying? Like,
Man, yeah,
oh
I
my
know, I know the feeling with that. But ladies and gents, like I said, this is what you can look forward to, and like I said, as we are looking forward to 2K coming out and episode 2, 2K24. Expect clips, expect pictures, the whole galore, because we are going to be before, and this is going to be before the launch. So, what we're going to hear more about what we're looking forward to. We're going to get into depth detail in regards to the game, um, and it's going to be great. So,
absolutely. What we gonna sit here and do this is just a little taste of what's going on. We are literally going to do the before and then the first takes on how we really feel after getting a copy or getting a download in our hand
the digital.
getting the digital in our hand But on that note, we're going to, it sounds like it is a good note to sit here and end it. What I am going to do is I'm going to lead it over to Dre. He can tell you about his social media. Plug his social media into there. I'm gonna plug mine in, and we gonna do our thing.
Yes, yes, yes. You guys can look myself up. I actually got two Facebook pages. You got DeAndre Cameron Facebook, and you got Cameron Wayne. Yes, the wrestling personality, Cameron Wayne. Instagram. Don't laugh at the name. Curly haired, light skinned boy. And I got Cameron Wayne Truth. Be expecting a locked in Instagram page to come soon where you can find out all about the show. We're going to post clips from the show. We're going to have guests too. Oh, yeah. Neither one of us mentioned that. We will have guests on the show. So expect a lot of fun with that. So just expect a lot of things coming from the Locked In crew.
Yes. And for me, if anything, I'm not really big on. No, let me stop. I am pretty big on social media sometimes. You can actually hit me up on facebook.com/JThunder. That's where I will be. That is my wrestling page. You can also hit me up at the Twitch channel. I'm gonna eventually start streaming a lot more, especially when 2K comes around, and then especially when I get my setup going. Because as you can see, I'm in my living room right now, and I'm not supposed to be in there, but because of the fact that I don't have a desk in where I'm supposed to have it, this is where we at right now. We on the look for a desk right now. So if anybody in the Midwest has a desk for me, let me know. So yeah, you can check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/ the J Thunder. And then you can also check me out on Twitter, for X, formerly known as Twitter. You can check me up at Twitter I guess at J Thunder 2009. Yeah, I guess that's how that works now. So yeah, I ain't giving out my Snapchat, so no. So, but yeah, on that note, we are going to sign off. I appreciate everybody in here. It is definitely good for the first episode. It's your boy Jay.
It's your boy Dre.
And we locked in and we signing out. Peace.
Share the show. Spread the word because we are here. We not going nowhere. See ya.
Yeah.